Okay, hello everyone on Fireside, on Instagram. No, not on Instagram. We are not there anymore. I was just thinking about Instagram. On Telegram and on Second Life. Good to have you all here. Hello everyone on the web. So Alexandra popping in for a moment there. Maybe she gets back soon. Um, Good to have you all here. Welcome to our bi-weekly show, Just Meditate, where we talk about meditation, using meditation in everyday life. Maybe you have questions because this is the show where you can ask questions as well. Um, Pop them in the chat and we will take them as they come. Maybe you have suggestions for next time. Feel free to give me a call and write it in the chat as well. Just meditate. Today's session is about disappointment. How can we deal with disappointment? And what is it actually? What is the thing with disappointment? And I guess everybody here listening to the live recording or the recording afterwards, we all have been disappointed in our lives, one way or another. It might even be that we disappointed ourselves. I guess we all know what that feels like. Uh, and it's something that's part of life. We all get disappointed several times uh, during our lifetime. Sometimes a big disappointment, a huge disappointment, other times a small disappointment, just not feeling very good about something. Yeah, that was disappointing, but we don't really give it much weight. And I was thinking about weight, not my own weight. Well, sometimes I do, which is a bit disappointing, my weight sometimes. Um, but I was thinking about how do we weigh disappointment? Because I noticed for myself all of a sudden, like I can be disappointed in the weather. I mean, I was wanting to go outside and then it's raining. I mean, raining like crazy, or it's dark and cold, or the snow. This winter, for example, has been exceptionally long in the part of Norway where I live, and it's been exceptionally cold as well. Not as expected, and that's also the key. You expect something, and then you get disappointed because it doesn't happen. It's not as you expected. That gives you a disappointment. But when it comes to the weather, it's like we don't have really control over it, isn't it? And I put less weight on the disappointment from the weather than being disappointed by a person, another person. But should we be that actually? Should we be more disappointed with another person than disappointed with a situation we don't have control over? We don't have control over other people either. I mean, if somebody disappoints you, you expect something from somebody, and that person disappoints you. It isn't he or she doesn't do what you expected them to do, or their reaction to something is disappointing. Should we put so much weight on it? Because we don't have control over how that person feels. Maybe that person has a bad day, isn't feeling right, but still tries to fulfill your expectations, but doesn't succeed. Should you really be disappointed? Should we be so disappointed? You don't know. You can always look inside their brain. You don't know what time of the month they're in. You don't know everything. What has just happened before they met you and disappointed you. Maybe they got disappointed themselves. Maybe something happened at work or in their family with their friends. There's so many variables that can cause people to not fulfill your expectations or even their own expectations. So realizing that, yeah, of course we have expectations and that's okay. I mean, you hear a lot of meditation teachers or spiritual gurus say like, without any expectation. I do it myself as well. In certain situations and with certain meditation techniques, I always say don't have any expectations, without expectations. But that's in that moment. Of course, when we go through everyday life, we always have some sort of expectation. But we can regulate that level of expectation, of course. And that's what we can do with self-regulating techniques like meditation, for example. Also, how to deal with a big disappointment. Say you got disappointed by something or someone in a big way. It was like, oh man, this is sad. You know, um, I'm often disappointed on Saturdays when the lottery is the national lottery. I mean, those people are doing the lottery every week for many, many years, but they never seem to get the the numbers right. They never seem to get the numbers right that I have on my lottery ticket. That's disappointment, isn't it? They are so experienced drawing those numbers, but they always manage to draw the wrong numbers or the wrong order or anything like that. That's a disappointment. But you stop being disappointed about that because you know it's part of the deal. Your expectations are very low already. But how do you deal with, you had huge expectations and you got so disappointed because those expectations didn't get fulfilled? Well, let's do a little meditation around that, shall we? So find a comfortable position, make sure you have good enough support. And especially for those that had a long day, maybe you want to go to sleep after this session, it's always nice to center yourself, to just let the day go and feel yourself getting centered. And we can do that by taking a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw, close your eyes. Feel yourself getting settled as you breathe out. Now take another nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth and let the day go, let the day go. Wonderful. One more time, a nice good deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. Let the day go. Feel yourself getting centered. Breathe normally. And tell yourself that you deserve a little time for yourself. Time for contemplation, time for meditation, time for self-care, self-love. A little reset. Getting back to a grounded situation, a balanced situation. Now notice where in your body you feel your breath the most. Maybe you feel your breath the most in your nostrils. Maybe you feel your breath the most in the back of your throat. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in your chest or your tummy. Just notice where you feel your breath the most. Put your attention on that spot there where you feel your breath the most. And notice how you are breathing through that point. Notice the air flowing in as you breathe in through that point. And notice the air flowing out as you breathe out through that point. And now try to breathe a little slower and a little deeper as you breathe through that point. So slower and deeper breaths. You can try a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale, or just whatever feels comfortable for you. Just make it slower and deeper than usual. Very good. Now, if you notice your mind wandering off, your thoughts are all over the place all of a sudden, it's okay. And it's good that you notice it. Just slowly and without judgment get back to your breath, breathing through that point. Just continue where you left off. It's totally normal to lose focus, especially when we quiet the mind. It tends to become actually more busy. That's okay. Just get back to focusing on your breath. Use that as your anchor. So as you breathe calm and deep, think about a situation where you were deeply disappointed. You had a huge disappointment. It could be anything like we already talked about. It could be disappointment in a person. It could be disappointment in another situation. Maybe yourself, that's fine too. Very good. Now keep that thought, that situation in your mind's eye. And now move your focus point and your breathing point into your heart space. And you can help by putting your hand on your chest right there where your heart is. So focus on your heart area. And imagine that you are breathing through your heart. Breathing in through your heart. Out through your heart. In through your heart. And out through your heart. Very good. Keep breathing through your heart. Just imagine breathing through your heart. Beautiful. Keep breathing through your heart, and now get back to that situation where you felt hugely disappointed. See that situation in front of you in your mind's eye. And imagine bringing that scene, that situation into your heart space. Just see it as a bowl of information, that whole scene, package it up and put it into your heart space. And surrender it to your heart. Let your heart take care of this disappointment. Let it soak into your heart space, that space of tranquility and love. Keep breathing through your heart. As you let your heart take care of that situation where you felt hugely disappointed. And can you forgive that situation? As you let your heart take care, can you forgive the situation? Can you forgive that person? Know, know that you maybe didn't have control over the situation. Maybe there were other external factors influencing the outcome, and it became something else than you had expected. And that's okay. It's all part of life. And let our heart take care of that situation. And maybe as you continue breathing through your heart, I'll be quiet in a minute and just let that situation, disappointment, soak for a little bit inside your heart space. And as you do that, you might notice other epiphanies coming up. That explain why you got disappointed. Just give it a minute or so as you breathe through your heart, soaking that situation where you felt disappointed into your heart space. Let your heart take care of it. Okay. Now let it go. Let that situation go. Beautiful. Now let's slowly return to the present moment. We can do that by noticing the room you are currently in. Noticing any sounds in the room. And now breathe normally again. Maybe you want to take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, slowly move your body back and forth as you return and become more awake. Wiggle with your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. Beautiful. I hope this session wasn't a disappointment. But yeah, this is a way of dealing with disappointment, dealing with not only disappointment, you can use this heart soak technique for other things as well. Like if you are struggling with thoughts or nervous about something, insecure, maybe you feel anger towards someone or something, let your heart take a look at it, as I would like to say it. Let it soak in that heart field, accept it for what it is, and often when we do this, our nervous system reacts and we all get all sorts of ideas and messages and information saying that, hey, you know what? this isn't so bad after all. Because that's also a human thing. We are so keen, and that is actually part of our survival system. We are so keen on only seeing the negative or making it making it worse than it actually is, because we're only focusing in that narrow view on, oh, this isn't good, oh, and we go on and on and on and on. But actually, why isn't it good? What happened that made it not good? What happened that made the situation disappointing? And know that you don't have control over everything. There's so many things going on. There's so many variables that are playing a role in our lives, also for other people. So yeah. And again, we also did some forgiveness. Forgiving the situation also helps very well. And by practice, you will notice that while you still have expectations, and you should have, because that's pretty natural to expect something sometimes. But you will notice that you become more resilient to disappointment, because you have experienced that, well, okay, this happened. Better luck next time. Like with the lottery. Or maybe if you get disappointed by a person over and over again, you decide to take the step and say, you know what? We don't match, and I'm going in another direction. I wish you all the best, but I don't like to get continuously disappointed by you, and that's okay too. We don't always get along with everybody, but we get peace with all those situations by doing a meditation technique, by being mindful, doing mindfulness techniques. You will notice that you become more aware of energies, intuition, and that not everything has to be perfect all the time. I hope you enjoyed this session. I have another announcement to make. If you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, I am not personally on Facebook, only with my company, TMG. Please be aware that I am not so often there. I don't encourage anybody to use Meta-owned social networks or social platforms because of the strain they put on our mental health. There are a lot of bad actors on those platforms, and if you get tired of me saying this, and if you get tired of me posting on these platforms that you have to use other platforms like Vero True Social that I can highly recommend, just unfollow me, because I'm very busy with mental health. I care about people's mental health. I care about my own mental health, and that's why I am not so often on those platforms anymore. And the first thing I say to a client, it gets into direction like, oh, I'm on Facebook and this person on Facebook irritates me. I always say, you know what, quit Facebook now. It's Facebook, Instagram, all that Meta-owned platforms are advertisement platforms. They work very well for advertisements. I know it myself. I do advertisements on the platforms. Otherwise, I don't reach out to anybody. But for the real social interaction, forget about it. Go to Vero True Social. Vero True Social is still free. If you sign up today, you will have it free for life, because to keep everybody safe in the future and keep the network Vero True Social alive and healthy, it is a network without advertisements. Everybody that becomes a member in a few months, for example, they might need to pay for a membership. So if you sign up now, it's still free and will be free forever. But in a few months, it might just be over, because Vero True Social is really growing. Every year, we see a lot of people coming from Instagram that get fed up with Instagram, and a new wave of people come in. So yeah, it's growing pretty rapidly. It's a good place to be. It mimics normal human social interaction, but then in a digital way. And I think they really nailed it. Uh, Even their support consists of humans. There are no algorithms. There are no bots or AI serving you. There are real human beings in the support. So if you haven't done so yet, now is the time to say goodbye to Meta-owned Facebook, Instagram, even what is it called? Their messaging app. Stop with that WhatsApp. It's also not healthy. Use other platforms. Yeah, they might be a little bit smaller, but they have learned from the mistakes from the huge platforms, and it's really much, much better for your mental health. So Vero True Social, I can highly recommend it, and try to jump on board there now. And for those following me on the other platforms, you already know what my account name on Vero is. It's the same. And you also see that I'm verified on Vero because that also went pretty easy. That's also a whole different story why I never got verified on Meta-owned platforms because they don't accept my real name. Can go figure. But that's the way it is. So yeah, anyway, enough. I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope you aren't too disappointed with it. I hope you liked it. And I hope you can use this technique to deal with future disappointments, to give some weight to your expectations, etc. I hope to see you back on Monday for our Love Your Love Muscle session. The theme, I don't know yet. It always comes a few days before, but just follow along and feel free to join. Take care, be safe, have a wonderful rest of your day and evening. Namaste.